Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Our last stop on the road to WrestleMania before WrestleMania itself. Elimination Chamber. And despite the madness that happened at the last pay-per-view, there's still a few gaps that we have to fill in here that weren't quite exactly covered there, per se. Well, a couple of them were, and they're getting over here, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But we have a few gaps to cover, like who the hell is going to challenge Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 36 for her Raw Women's Championship, damn it? And are we going to possibly have the first three-way co-intercontinental champions? Eat your heart out, Jericho and Shayna. Or maybe not on that one, but you know what? Who even knows with this company, given what they did? How they put the goddamn Universal title on a 53-year-old who gets gassed easily and can't go for more than 5 minutes at a time. And when you try to, well, you get the main event of last year's Super Showdown. Or should I say Super Lame Down? Whatever. I'm Coffee Lover 239, and with me as always is Heathy. Glad to have you as always, Heathy.
Hey, Coffee, good to be back.
Yeah, good to be back in the hot seat indeed. And without further ado, it's time. Let's go. Our first match is Natalya versus Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler versus Asuka versus Ruby Riot versus Sarah Logan in an Elimination Chamber match for a Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania 36. So on February 17th, a Raw-branded Women's Elimination Chamber match was scheduled for the event to determine the number one contender against Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania 36. Announced for the match were Natalya, Liv Morgan, Asuka, Ruby Riot, Sarah Logan, and NXT's Shayna Baszler, who reignited her feud with Lynch from Survivor Series by ambushing her on the previous week's episode of Raw, including biting her and saying something along the lines of, "I'm going to tear the living shit out of you," which apparently upset a parent, actually. Yikes. They don't give a shit about your kids. Now, the writing on the wall should be dead fucking simple for this match. When you look at all the women in the pecking order, most of them are kind of low, per se, with the exception of Shayna Baszler, who's obviously at the top. And it's like a deadlock tie for who's in the bottom of this pecking order. I'd say Asuka's second, and then I don't even know. Then you just have the Riot Squad and Natalya. And really, Ruby Riot was off TV for so long with her injury. Liv Morgan got hastily thrown into that awful Rusev Lashley Lana nonsense. And Sarah Logan, I don't know if I've established this before, but off camera I have to Heathy that Sarah Logan is one of the few that Vince did not give a shit about, much like the War Raiders and Lucha House Party. And Logan has mostly been relegated to main event tapings and the D levels or C levels shows, And Natalya's just been there, just flatlining along. So it should be obvious. It should be obvious who's going to win. But I think we've hit a slight little snag in the road, because there's been some reports coming out that broke earlier this morning around my time, little in the afternoon for Heathy, that apparently Vince McMahon is starting to sour on Shayna Baszler. But she just got there, for God's sake. Oh God, I'm worried. Because she faced against Kairi Sane on the Go Home edition of Raw before this show. She was supposed to face Asuka, but Asuka got injured, and that might even throw some doubts of Asuka being in there. But regardless of if they have to throw Kairi in there if Asuka's too injured, but it doesn't seem like it though. But unlikely though that it will affect my pick. But I'm very worried now that I've heard this. I don't need him souring on it right away. Heel versus heel doesn't work. I can make an argument for face versus face, but I can't do it for heel versus heel, So don't do it. Don't try and make me force an argument for something I can't argue for. Heathy, who do you think's gonna win?
I mean, when you look at the competitors in this match, it's not exactly a merger's row. You have Shayna Baszler, and then you have Lunch Meat, you have Riot Squad, who's tethering off into their own thing, maybe a triple threat on the cards, possibly on the main pre. You have Natalya, who, let's face it, I why she's still relevant. And yeah, she's been a great servant to WWE. So I feel like it could be someone else a part of that chamber, and instead, it doesn't really do. It doesn't really do Natalya justice when they keep her around in these big number one contenders matches, title matches. Just give someone else a bit of time.
Well,
And
who do we even have, really? That's what I want to know.
yeah, true.
Mm-hmm,
Then
exactly.
again, I think I'm just nitpicking. And then we
Well,
have Asuka, who may
yeah.
be in the match due to and obvious pick Shayna. If she's not going to win, it's got to be Asuka. Even that seems like a bit of a stretch for a Mania women's title. I mean, they have history and they put on decent matches. Becky Lynch versus Asuka doesn't really seem like a WrestleMania caliber match for a title. So, and since the Riot Squad are probably going to be doing their own thing in the next few weeks, and Natalya, I don't know what but she won't be winning in the chamber, that's for sure. Unless Vince gets cold feet the day off, I swear to God, I hope he.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
going to go with Shayna to absolutely obliterate everyone in the and the chamber itself. I just want to see her blow up the whole chamber. And then, good little segment close off the show. Venus starts to fumble around, just as Becky Lynch's world will crumble around her when she realizes she has to go against Shayna goddamn Baszler at WrestleMania. The woman with one of the longest, if not the longest, NXT Women's title reigns.
The longest
Anyway, yeah,
reigning NXT Women's Champion, man. And,
yeah, I'm going with that.
yeah, and the thing is, though, Shayna had to do it in 2 reigns, though. Whereas Asuka set the longest one-time reigning NXT Women's Champion. But you know what? I'm sticking with my guns on this. I don't give a shit. Who even knows? But it's been crazy that the rumor has been flying around that already McMahon has soured on Baszler. This cannot happen, though. No, you have to at least actually give her a chance before she actually does it. And literally looking at this, she has to be the one to take down Becky Lynch. We've had Lynch's reign go on for almost a year now. It's really been, my God. So much has happened in then, and you know what? Yeah, I'm sticking with my guns on this and going with Shayna Baszler. She's the only one who I think can theoretically not only win this chamber match, but in her own words, tear the living shit out of Becky. Yeah. There we go. I actually hit it that time. Alright, it's Braun Strowman versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn in a 3-on-1 handicap match for the Intercontinental Championship. We've already had co-Intercontinental Champions in the past with Chris Jericho and China back in around late 1999, around Royal Rumble 2000 season or so. But here, we have the first ever 3 co-Intercontinental Champions? No, I really don't think so, but I have to get into the background of this stinking match anyway, so let's just do this. On the January 31st episode of SmackDown, Braun Strowman defeated Shinsuke Nakamura with Sami Zayn and Cesaro in his corner to win the Intercontinental Championship, his first ever title run, or singles title run on the main roster, not counting those tag team reigns. On the February 28th episode, a contract signing for the title match at Elimination Chamber was held. Tired of hearing Zayn's rants, Strowman signed the contract, saying that regardless of who else signed it, he knew he would be basically facing all 3 at the event. Zayn seized the opportunity, and he, Nakamura, and Cesaro all signed the contract to make it a 3-on-1 handicap match for Strowman's Intercontinental Championship event, which shouldn't the fucking belt have already, just for the contract itself, already just outlined that match alone? Whatever. And somehow them just automatically inserting themselves, whatever. This is ridiculous. The fact that these 3 are still... I mean, it just flatlined. Nakamura's reign as Intercontinental Champion was very underwhelming, if you ask me. He really didn't do a whole lot and held onto the belt for way longer than he should have. And now we're actually going to have Sami wrestle his first fucking pay-per-view match in what feels like, God knows how long? When was his actual last pay-per-view match? I'm trying to see. Give me a second. Because he really, you notice, like I said, he hasn't been wrestling a lot. He's been more just sitting very comfortably in this managerial role. And looking at this, my God, he's been on a hot-ass losing streak, too. A whole page of defeats here. Not a single fucking win. Okay, his last pay-per-view match, if you even want to... Oh, wait, no. He had one win for Smackville, but do we even really count that? It was just a house show they filmed to be like a pay-per-view-ish. If we want to count his actual last pay-per-view match, his last actual real pay-per-view match was at Stomping Grounds back all the way in June of 2019. Ouch, hasn't wrestled a single goddamn pay-per-view since then. And it's insane, really. And Cesaro, well, he is there. It's still early for Braun Strowman. I don't have much else to add. Heaty, who do you think's gonna win?
I mean, if you take a look at and you would have told me that, if you would have told me that none of these men would have a world title reign to that list of accolades, I've told you in Strowman, Nakamura, Zayn, and Cesaro, no world titles between a lot of them. And yet, even though that a match for the Workhorse title, guys, it still feels like it's where they should be. And even if it is, it's a handicap match. Why do you... I understand the aspect of it with the heel team wanting as chance of a win as possible, but a handicap match, I don't know why I can just never get on board with handicap title. But anyway, who I think's going to win? Well, I think this all just goes down to what the plans are for Team WrestleMania. Do you have a four-way? Do you have Team Sami Zayn win it and then they break off into a triple threat of Mania? I don't know. It feels like way too soon to have Braun Strowman lose the title if that indeed is the plan. It's a tough one. A, because I'm not really that invested, and B, because it's a handicap match, even though it's a new champion. I don't know. It's probably one of the harder. Also, because I've been focusing on the other matches. I know going over these predictions about an hour back. But I'm going to go with... screw it. I know WWE would be the type of company to screw over three people for one person's benefit. How many people have been screwed over because of Roman, but that's another story. I'm going to go with Strowman to absolutely destroy the three men that face across in the ring. It's not a one-on-one, handicap, 3-on-1. Hopefully it's tag, maybe that justifies it better, but I'm going to go with Strowman to win and retain.
It'll probably be tag with those three stooges knowing how they function, but I'm going with Strowman as well. Like, the plans I hear for WrestleMania is that, well, what I would hope at least is that they have Sheamus actually do it, because that's the only title he has not won, the Intercontinental title. And that would actually be something to have Sheamus bro kick the life out of Strowman at Mania to get the one title that he hasn't won. But yeah, we still need Strowman for that to happen, so I'm going to go with Braun Strowman to retain. Our next match is The Miz and John Morrison versus The New Day, Big E and Kofi Kingston versus The Usos, Jimmy and Jay versus Heavy Machinery, Otis Dozovic and Tucker Knight versus Lucha House Party, Lince Dorado and Grand Metalik versus Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode. I shall not call him Robert, as JD would say. So, at a Super Lane Down, Miz and Morrison defeated The New Day to capture the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, and that actually wasn't a bad match, despite where that show ended up. Anyways, following night on SmackDown, it was announced that Miz and Morrison would defend the title in a Tag Team Elimination chamber match at the event, and the challengers for the match went out were for The New Day, because fucking automatic rematch nonsense come back out of nowhere, the Usos, Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party, and the crack pairing of Ziggler and Roode. So, this is... I guess we really need an Elimination Chamber match that has a bit of suspense to it. You know what I mean? Because the Raw Women's Elimination Chamber match is pretty much a dead set lock on who's gonna win, despite what we mentioned there about how Vince apparently is already supposedly given up on Baszler. If you ask me, I think he's just given up on wrestling in general, but that's another story for another time. But this here at least has a little bit of suspense to it. I am kind of shocked that Miz and Morrison actually did win it laying down, because I was kind of expecting the New Day's iron grip to still go, but it is kind of a nice, refreshing change for the New Day to loosen their iron grip in the tag division. But look at this, though. Look at the other teams on the pecking order and who should actually be there. I mean, the Usos, they've had already enough reigns as is. Same with New Day. Heavy Machinery, I feel, absolutely deserves a reign, but they still haven't got it. And isn't there something going on still with Otis and Ziggler? Oh, yeah. Pour one out for Otis, by the way. And Lucha House Party are the absolute lowest on the pecking order in this match. There is no question about it. You think Revival would be in here, but they're pretty much just AEW bound at this point, and there's just no getting around it. So you have to deal with Loser House Party at the bottom, then the crack pairing of Ziggler and Rude, second to last, and then Heavy Machinery at the sort of halfway-ish point. Then I guess Miz and Morrison would technically be the halfway point, but then again, they're the champions, and I don't know. Heaty, help me out. Who you think's gonna win?
I think it's going to go down to a process of elimination. Pardon the pun. When we're looking at this match, so when I look at the 6 participants, or 16, let's go through them. Lucha House Party, lol, no. Heavy Machinery, along with Ziggler and Rude, they're kind of intertwined with Otis, Mandy, Dolph storyline, and I think that we'll live to see that out, maybe to Mania, with a rumored Ziggler-Otis pre-show match, which I wouldn't be that much, considering the storylines are written for once with storyline like this. That leaves the Miz and Morrison, that leaves New Day, and also and it's a new title reign with Miz and Morrison picking up the titles a week or two back. Partners up with the fact that the rumored plan is to have a triple threat for the tag titles. If the tag titles are going to be on the main, I'm just go with a safe option, I guess, and save the babyface victory for WrestleMania, and I'm going to go with Morrison and Miz.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there. Looking at this pecking order, New Day already have had enough reigns, like I said, and so have the Usos. And while I do think Heavy Machinery and Ziggler and Rude are going to battle it out a little bit in the chamber at some point, of course they probably will eventually get intertwined at some point or another, and they'll square off, especially Otis beating the life out of Ziggler. And then, yeah, we know LHP, forget about them. I'm going to go with the dirt sheet, Miz and Morrison to retain. So remember what I said about automatic rematches coming back out of nowhere without them announcing it? Well, here's another one for ya. The Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, or as I like to kind of call them now, Gin and Juice, versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy, a.k.a. Not the Messiah and his disciple, as I also called them, for those of you who saw my live reaction to all of that in the live pay-per-view discussion channel on our Discord during Super Lame Down in a tag team match for the Raw Tag Team Championships. So at Super Lame Down, Not the Messiah and his disciple retained the championship against the Street Profits, Gin and Juice. And on the following Raw, Gin and Juice were given one final opportunity when they defeated Not the Messiah and his disciple to actually win the title. That was kind of a nice surprise. A little anticlimactic, a little out of nowhere, out of left field, and everything in between, but still nice nonetheless. Later backstage, Rollins and Murphy challenged the Profits to a rematch for the title at Elimination Chamber, which was made official. So yeah, no more automatic rematches, my ass. I mean, we've seen this match now, what, 3 times in the span of how many days? Let's see. we had the 27th for laying down, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 4 because of Raw. So twice in 4 days, and 1, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll have seen this match 3 times in 10 days. Friggin' ridiculous. I mean, it's nice they actually put the belt on a legit tag team, but jeez, this is, like I said, a sad state of the tag division when you have to throw the mixed tag team and not send the AOP after them. This is really a filler match, and I'm not too into this. Heathy, who do you think's gonna win?
I feel like WWE are about to book themselves into not a corner, but I feel like there's a title change here, and Rollins and Murphy become the tag champs once again. They're really running the risk of playing hot potato with the Raw tag team titles. I think the title needs a bit of stability right now, especially after the Viking Raiders had them. So, and plus there's this rumor of Owens and Rollins going 1-on-1 at WrestleMania, and I don't think they'd do that while Seth's occupied with the tag, unless they pull them off the AOP. So I don't want the Street Profits to go into Mania as champ. It feels off somewhat. I'm not to say they're underwhelming champions, but there are much better candidates. You've got the OC, you've got the Viking Maiden. Even Rollins and Murphy would be good, but then again, now playing hot potato, and that's not what the title needs right now. So I'm gonna guess it's a safe bet, but then again, it seems like a safe pay-per-view where not really much apart from the women's champion, leaving the stats for WrestleMania up in the air. So I'm gonna go with the Street Profits to retain.
To be honest, I'm not really too much concerned, and even then, if they were going to book themselves into a corner, why even take the titles off not the Messiah and his disciple in the first place? It's just, it doesn't even make any sense. And it's still too damn early for the Profits to lose. Actually, it's way damn early, because they've literally been only champions for what? Counting from winning on Monday and then going, let's see, and then 1, 2, 3. How long can we even count this? I can't even count directly here because this... and the thing is taking a while. My connection's acting so funky today, folks. I don't know why, but it just is. But let's just see if I can just... I gotta scroll all the way down to the bottom. They've only been champions for about 4 days. Jeez, you really gonna give them that low of a reign? I think not. I am gonna go with the Street Profits, or as I like to say, Chin and Juice, to retain. Our next match is Alistair Black versus AJ Styles in a no disqualification match. So on the February 24th episode of Raw, the OC attacked Alistair Black backstage. Why? Later, Black challenged Styles to a match the following week. However, WWE pulled a "not subject to change," saying that Styles said that Black would have to defeat Gallows and Anderson before he could face Styles. Black defeated them both in separate matches, albeit he had to defeat Luke Gallows via disqualification because Gallows kept attacking him in the corner and would not stop after the referee counted to 5. After which, Styles faced and gave Black his first loss, or at least I'm pretty sure this is his first definitive loss on the main roster. Really? You're gonna do him dirty like that and give him to a meaningless bullshit nonsense that shouldn't even really be? And now this no disqualification match is scheduled. It's ridiculous. I mean, you might be losing to AJ Styles, but look at what happened when Ricochet lost the US title to AJ Styles. Flatlined, and then beep, done on the main roster. Send him back to NXT. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit, but at the same time, Black is kind of one of my favorites currently. But I really think there's a lot going for him. And, I feel he definitely deserves, a good title reign. But jeez, this... It's like AJ Styles is already occupied with The Undertaker, as we kind of already figured out from Laying Down and what's possibly going forward into this. But then again, who even knows what's actually going to happen there? But I don't even... I don't know. Healy, who do you think's going to win? Healy. Uh-oh.
I feel like this is just a setup for a Mania feud that I'm really excited to see. AJ Styles versus the... hopefully that's not a 3-1 handicap match. By the way, OC will also attack the Super Showdown. But yeah, it's a no disqualification match because I think the Undertaker will be in attendance and he won't just be in with front row tickets. I think he'll be knee deep in the action, maybe giving a choke slam out to AJ Styles. Hopefully he can do it with Tombstone. That's kind of a worry. And between Alistair Black like an afterthought, and if he loses another match, he could be lost in the shuffle. And I guess this is perfect for Alistair to get his win back, I guess. Have him lose 2 in a row, even if by dirty tactics or an affair. Still 2 losses on his record. And up until a few weeks ago, he was absolutely undefeated on the main roster. So, in order to preserve Alistair Black's integrity and also to help the storyline move along, Undertaker to interfere, and that will help Alistair Black get the win against AJ Styles.
Looking at it though, if I'm being honest, at the same time, it would seem like a mess how AJ keeps getting slapped on by Undertaker, but I'm sure that will be alright. It'll be fine, at least. It'll be a fine Mania feud, and I guess Black, yeah, should do it, but then again, now you're subjecting him to 50-50 booking, which hurts my fucking soul, like, a lot, but I'm just gonna go with Alistair Black on this one here, and maybe we can actually get him into the title picture, for the love of God, because, yeah, I ain't getting any younger waiting, none of us are. And finally, our last match is... Oh, come on! Haven't we given Humberto enough opportunities at the U.S. title? Like, I've lost track between both AJ Styles and Andrade Cien Almas. I've lost track. How many times has he fucking had a shot at the U.S. title and he loses every single fucking time? Like, my God, do you even really want me to care about this match? Okay, you know what? Description. I'm gonna rapid fire this fucking shit. On the Royal Rumble kickoff pre-show, which I was there for the Royal Rumble in person, by the way, Andrade, accompanied by Zelina Vega, retained the United States Championship against Humberto Carrillo. I should mention, I used that as my break match, basically, to go get a hot dog and a beer because I hadn't had lunch that day, but that's not here or now. Anyways, Carrillo then won a rematch on the following Raw by disqualification due to Vega's interference. Following the match, Carrillo performed a hammerlock DDT on Andrade onto the exposed concrete, just as Andrade had previously done to Carrillo back in December. With Andrade absent over the next month due to his wellness policy violation suspension, Vega brought up her new associate, Angel Garza from NXT, Carrillo's real-life cousin. The two then feuded where Garza defeated Carrillo at Super Showdown, which I said was a fine match. On the March 2nd episode of Raw, Carrillo teamed with Rey Mysterio to face Andrade and Garza, where Carrillo pinned Andrade. This earned Carrillo another U.S. Championship match against Andrade at Elimination Chamber. Everybody got that? Yes, no, maybe. I can't be bothered. I guess there is just the slightest bit of reason for giving him this match, but I've seen this match enough times. I really, really have, and I have a feeling with what happened with Andrade's wellness policy violation and his subsequent suspension, his days as U.S. champion, I have a feeling, are numbered. But you're gonna give it to Carrillo, who no one absolutely has given a crap about for a good while, because he's just stalled, man. No one's been given a reason to care. No character built still, and I have nothing else. Healy, help me out.
It feels like they're just dragging this along until Mania season when they can do this four-way or something along those lines.
Deja vu.
I mean, exactly, yeah. The WWE are just dubious with, handing out title opportunities. And when I say handing out, I mean Roman Reigns just say, next, he's facing Goldberg for the Universal title of WrestleMania.
Ew.
Oh, and I would say, there's, maybe they're going along with the case of there's no have a number one contenders match. Then it's pretty easy to book a number one contenders match. Coronavirus hasn't really gotten to us yet, but I'm sure all the superstars are alive and well and would love to fight for an opportunity to face Andrade Elimination Chamber, but we get Carillo again, and it's really not for this booking. But the more Carillo gets these title opportunities, the more he comes up short, and we get gifted these title opportunities. Either people are going to sour on him, or people are just going to get plain bored of him. I mean, overexposure is a bastard, and at the moment it looks like Carillo is at risk of being overexposed. The stuff with the DDT onto the concrete floor a few weeks back, that was good. But I feel like after Super Showdown, even then, that was maybe one title match too many. It just felt like this was just oversaturation of a match that we've seen and we do like. It's getting a bit bland now, watching the same recipe over and over. They say they were looking to have Andrade drop the title, because of the suspension wellness
Paul
policy.
Heyman wanted to keep it on him because Heyman supposedly behind the scenes is really supporting Andrade.
So, I don't know. I mean, on one hand, I feel like they definitely could have Carillo win here. Last chance saloons type deal they do with the Street Profits last week.
Now or never.
Also, yeah, like part of me also thinks they could hold off until Mania, and part of me they could just put this in front of us so close we can taste it and just rip it away from us once again. And to be honest, it's getting to the point where it baffles me with creative that I don't really care about the match and who wins. I mean, the moves will be good, they have good chemistry, but not really bothered about who wins this match. So I'm just going. I haven't gone with any other title changes. So okay, I'll go with Carillo. Why not? And hopefully we don't have to have another one of these singles matches for quite some time. So yeah, Carillo.
Playing it risky on this one, huh? Now let me answer my own question. Let me ask my own question and answer it. If Andrade were to retain here, and somehow they do this bullshit yet again at Mania, and have Carillo win, or whoever, or maybe make it a freeway, four-way, or whatever, with Mysterio and Garza. Say it was a four-way there. Would anyone even really care at that point if Carillo won? To answer my own question, I don't think so. And this match really is, I don't know if I want to say it's the most fillerish out of all of them. Like, between Gin and Juice against Not the Messiah and his disciple and this, it's hard to tell which is more of a filler match if you ask me. But you know what? I'm just going to play it safe and go with Andrade in this filler match. In fact, that could really be the best way to sum up this pay-per-view card. Filler. Because mostly everything seems so damn predictable, pretty much. I mean, think about it. Raw Women's Elimination Chamber match, deadlock. Intercontinental Championship, almost a deadlock. Miz and Morrison, or the Tag Team Chamber match for SmackDown, also feels like a deadlock. Gin and Juice, Not Messiah, Disciple, almost. Alistair AJ seems like it almost really does. It makes you wondering, there really wasn't a whole lot of build-up, considering they snuck a Super Showdown in there like that, like right at the end of the damn Rumble, when I was there in person and I saw the advertisement. I'm like, no, it's happening. Why couldn't we just go 1 month for a break with just NXT TakeOver Portland? And then I'm like, shit, here we go again. And so I feel this pay-per-view has actually suffered quite a bit because of Laying Down and how they've had to build that up so much. There really hasn't been much time and effort put into this, save for a few things here and there. Maybe the show itself won't actually be so bad, and I hope so, but good lord, there is no way in hell it could top last year. I mean, last year, that was when the crowd got behind Kofi, damn it, and that was in my city. I was there. You could really feel it then and there, but this, not so much. But I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, and we'll see what happens. I'd like to thank Heathy, as always, for being here with me. Say bye, Heathy.
Thanks for having me. This will be a show.
Hmm?
This will be, I say that it's going to be a great show. This is just going to be a show.
It's gonna be a what show? Just a show?
Yeah, just an average show.
Just a show, huh? Well, that's the one way of putting it, because you were cutting out there. See, folks, even the internet feels like the trouble is just bored with this madness. Well, whatever. We'll throw it up. And keep your eyes tuned here to AWN, because WrestleMania season for us, you should know by now, even in our days of Stream 1, has always been pretty goddamn busy for us, because we have not just WrestleMania itself, we also have this year's Hall of Fame, which is going to be fun to talk about, and we also have NXT TakeOver Tampa Bay, so we've got to go and get our schedule worked out for this, and I've got to put this podcast together before the show itself goes off, so yeah, we'll see you next time for I don't know what it's going to be like, but just keep an eye out for WrestleMania weekend content. We've got 3 things coming, and it's going to be fun. I can tell you that much. So, see you then. See you next time. Until then, goodbye, and thanks for watching.